when we could head back up in this market. Our real estate expert, Louie Ortiz, joins us again this morning. How are you?
Hey, Mark. Great to see you.
Good. Good to see you, too. Okay, the latest report came out, and it looked like foreclosures were tapering off. Is that the way you're seeing it right now?
A little bit. You know, funny thing, one of the things that I'm starting to see is a little bit of a trend in our marketplace. You know, a lot of people are kind of upside down in their homes, and I'm seeing a lot of people trying to do loan modifications. That process is taking several months to go through, and then if that doesn't work, they're trying to short sale. That process also takes several months. If that doesn't work out, then I'm seeing people foreclose or doing strategic defaults. This whole process is taking so much time. I think there's just so much inventory, and that's why we're still seeing more price declines.
So really the foreclosures are figuring in heavily both in terms of inventory back out on the market and what people are buying.
Yeah, and not only that, but you know, the lenders, so many times I see the lenders taking these properties back, and it's taking them months to get those properties back on the market. So when we look at the sales statistics, it's a little bit unsure because we don't know really how much more inventory there really is out there.
Do you see a possibility of a second wave of foreclosures for all of us? And I'm one of those folks. It's upside down on my home. I've got a job right now. That could change tomorrow. Yeah. You know, a lot of us are, you know, one paycheck away from not being able to make our mortgage payment. If we're upside down in our homes, and that should happen, we're going to go into default. We're going to lose the home. Yeah. And a lot of us are looking at that situation. Yeah,
you know, I really do see that. And one of the other problems that I see is I see people trying to sell their properties as an equity sale. You know, normal sellers with equity in their properties. But what happens is these people that are doing, you know, the short sales and the foreclosures, when those properties hit the market, it's continuing to drive prices down. And I just think we're still in for a little bumpy ride for a little bit.
So what's the word then? If you can make your payments and hang on, do you try to hang on and wait for the market to come back? Or do you, if you can possibly get out, do you unload it and try to lighten your burden a little bit? I mean...
Yeah, you know... It's a difficult thing. I mean, each situation is a case-by-case basis, but I'm starting to see more and more people do what are called strategic defaults. These are people that can make their payments, but they're so upside down in their properties that they've decided that it's just in their financial interest to just let the property go rather than continue to make those properties. You know, I read one report that said that they're not predicting, nobody knows for certain, but one report said 2023 before we see prices in San Diego to reach 2005 levels. So somebody purchased, now this is just one report, nobody knows for sure. But gosh,
well, we saw another report that said that in the first quarter of this coming year, of 2011, expect prices to drop 10%.
Yes.
Now, do you think that's realistic?
I do. Like I said, I think it just depends on the various areas around the county. I think some of the more affluent areas, we're going to see big price declines. Some of the lower sides, we're starting to see a little bit of stabilization.
Part of the problem right now, too, is if you're trying to sell your home or you're trying to refinance, if you're upside down, you can't refinance. Right. You don't have enough cash in it. But even if you are in a position where you're close to being able to refinance, they look for comparables, other sales in your area. And if most of those sales in your area are depressed properties that have maybe been foreclosed on and are selling for far less than what they did a few years ago, that drags down your appraisal. So even if you thought your home was worth, say, you know, $500,000, if everything in your area is selling for $3 right now, that's all your house is going to appraise for.
Yeah. So many times it happens that a buyer and seller will agree upon a sales price, and when the appraiser does the comparables, there's a comp or several comps because of the short sales and foreclosures that property is worth less than what's agreed upon, and then the buyers and sellers have to renegotiate that to see what they're going to do. And many times the lender won't fund depending on what the appraisal comes back at.
Okay, is there any way to leave this segment on a positive note today?
Well, absolutely. I mean, one thing to look at is, you know, if you're a seller and you really need to sell your home, you really need to decide in timing the market if this is the time to sell, or if you can hang on to that property for several years. On the buying side, what a tremendous opportunity. Interest rates are at historic lows. There's so much inventory. It's a really, I mean, there's so many investment opportunities. If you can buy, this is a great time to buy.
Okay, Louie Ortiz, our real estate experts. Always great to see you.
Good to see you, Mark.
Thanks for leaving it on a positive note. I was getting a little worried there for a second. All right. For more information, you go to san-diego6.com and click on Hot Topics. All right, let's get over to Renee, get another check on our weather. Renee?
Thank you, Mark. Hey, good morning to you guys. We do have some nice clear